Dawn Staley shows true colors with Caitlin Clark comments and dangerous observation. Dawn Staley was asked about how she truly feels about Caitlin Clark after previously addressing the idea that she's a hater while speaking on her game and what's made her so successful. South Carolina Gamecocks head coach Dawn Staley has heaped praise on Caitlin Clark while discussing what makes her so dangerous as a player amid claims of her being a hater. Clark came into the WNBA as a generational talent and the first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft before immediately transitioning from college to the pros. Throughout her rookie year, though, many debated whether she or Angel Reese, her on-court rival, had been the better player, forcing many pundits and commentators to take sides. For many, Staley had been on the side of Reese, having named her the Rookie of the Year over Clark, when the stats had heavily suggested that the latter be more deserving before Clark ultimately won the award. Speaking on Kelly Kelsey's podcast on Clark, the South Carolina head coach reiterated her admiration for her game while crediting her for bringing new fans to the sport. On the podcast, she said, "She's quite incredible, quite an anomaly when it comes to how many eyeballs she's bringing on the game. And the newness of those eyeballs, they only want her to do well. Only want you to speak very highly of her. Only, want you to agree with what they agree with. And that's kind of hard." The legendary college basketball head coach somewhat addressed her alleged dislike for Clark, stating, "We're critics to everyone that plays the game. We're critics. It is part of the fabric of sports. It's part of athletics. It's the competition. That's what we do." She added, "For me, the most dangerous thing of Caitlin Clark is her passing ability. Her ability to make other people better, and her ability to have other people's production along with her production. That's how do you win." In 2024, Staley had directly addressed chatter that she did not like Clark when she said, "I like conversations because they need to be had. They really need to be had because it's not hate. It's like, people think I hate on Caitlin." Caitlin is probably going to win the Dawn Staley Award for the third year in a row, not because I'm favoring her. It's because she can flat out play. Quite simple, quite simple. Clark had won the aforementioned award for 3 years in a row while at Iowa, before moving on to the WNBA, where she was the first overall pick in the 2024 draft class. The sports world has never been just about the scoreboard. Beneath every buzzer beater and trophy lift, there's an undercurrent of culture, identity, and the stories we tell about greatness. And in that current, voices like Dawn Staley's cut through like lightning, sharp, unignorable, and illuminating. In June, at the intersection of truth and tension, Dawn Staley, Hall of Famer, South Carolina head coach, and a voice often celebrated for her unwavering honesty, made headlines again. This time not for hoisting a championship banner, but for voicing what many had tiptoed around in whispers, that Caitlin Clark, the transcendent star and media darling of women's basketball, represented something bigger and possibly more problematic than just her shooting range. "I think it's dangerous," Staley remarked, referring to how Clark's meteoric rise had been framed in ways that subtly erased the contributions of black women who laid the groundwork. "It's not Caitlin's fault," she clarified, "but we need to be honest about who gets celebrated and why." The room tensed. Social media split down familiar lines. Some branded her bitter, jealous, or divisive. Others saw her words as overdue truth. But perhaps more than anything, the reaction revealed what Staley herself has always represented, a mirror to the uncomfortable. For decades, women's basketball has lived in the shadow of the men's game, fighting for air, for screens, for respect. And when finally the light came, with record ratings, sold-out arenas, and ESPN breathlessly broadcasting highlights, it came riding on the back of Caitlin Clark, a white player from Iowa with a Steph Curry-like flair. But Clark did not invent women's basketball. She did not make the step-back three iconic. Nor did she teach the game its rhythm, its resilience, or its roar. That credit belongs to a lineage of players like Cheryl Swoops, Tamika Catchings, Maya Moore, and yes, Dawn Staley herself, black women whose brilliance was often diminished or seen as expected, not revolutionary. In speaking up, Staley wasn't attacking Clark. She was pulling back the curtain on how fame is granted, how narratives are constructed. Her comment wasn't about a player, it was about a pattern.